For our content analysis, we did the relationship between cigarette cards and their content, research by Chelsea Giles, Emily Boucher, Charlie Forbes, and Tyler Terry. In our data collection, we attempted to get an even spread of men and women, but as you can see in the chart, female cards were easier to come by. As we began analyzing various cards, we realized that there were a significant amount of different brands. The majority we had listed as other. We did have a few brands that showed up repeatedly, and the results of those were interesting. Kenny Brothers Tobacco portrayed all females, along with La Morena, Wills, and Slavognidis. Bristol and London contained all males, and Players contained all but one male. As you can see in the chart, actresses dominated the profession field at 56%, followed by the military at 23%, athletes at 18%, and actors at 4%. We then looked at profession by gender, where 279 out of 287 women were portrayed as actresses, with the other 8 portrayed as athletes. Men had a more even spread between athletes and military. Overall, the majority of all these cards used the close-up as the type of shot at 66%, with 22% being full shots and the remaining 12% listed as other. We then looked at type of shot by gender, which showed that 77% of women's shots were close-ups, while males had only 50% of close-up shots. We then looked at type of shot by profession, which showed actresses accounted for 79% of close-ups taken. Actors, athletes, and military were about evenly spread. We concluded that close-ups of women were popular because these cards wanted to present their beauty to the customers. Comparing profession and image type, we found out that most actresses were lithographs or photographs. We concluded that since women were admired for their beauty, real images instead of drawings were used. Military had an even spread. A decent portion of athlete cards were drawings, but we could find no correlation why. This chart shows that the popularity of cigarette cards increased from the late 19th century into the start of the 20th century. We had a category for 1860 through 1880, but no cards fell into that range. That means that our other category was post-1920, which shows that cigarette cards were beginning to die out. In this year by gender chart, you see that women were extremely popular in the late 19th century. At the start of the 20th century, women were becoming less popular, and men, particularly athletes and military officers, were gaining more attention. This was our most surprising discovery. In this year by image type graph, it shows that lithographs and photographs were more popular in the late 1800s, and that drawings became more popular in the early 1900s. This is surprising because as time went on and technology evolved, you would have thought photos and lithographs would have increased, and drawings would have become more obsolete.